And we are live. What's good, people? It's your man DL saying it's Monday. Happy Monday. Good afternoon to y'all. How y'all feeling? I don't know where y'all are. This is the I Really Want to Know podcast. I am DL Saint. Welcome. Sorry, I was supposed to do this last night. I was It didn't happen. I'm turning it down. Y'all know I need to check. I need to check everything. Hold on one second. All right, we're good. I think I have figured out my starter procedure. We're good. Yeah, I was supposed to do this last night. I was going to do a late one, and well, y'all know I'm a single dad. Some single dad stuff popped off, and I had to take care of it, and I went kind of late. So, my poor baby was with her mom on the beach, and she lost her glasses in the water, and she was so. She just thought she knew she my daughter was so upset when I pulled up to pick her up. You know, she immediately starts crying and all that. I'm like, what's going on? She's like, I lost my glasses. You're going to be mad. It's what it is. I had to explain to my little girl, like, yo, this ain't the 80s. This ain't the 70s. Like, I would have got beat down for losing my glasses. But I explained to her, like, like, you're a good daughter. You don't do anything wrong normally. This was an honest mistake. You know what I mean? Normally it's the adults that are around that say, hey, why don't you take those glasses off before you go into the water? You know what I mean? Kids need support. So she didn't get that support. She lost her glasses. And so, you want to be a stern parent, in my opinion. You want to take care of business as a parent, in my opinion. But you also have to be compassionate. You have to understand what's going on. And you have to make sure your children understand what's going on. I didn't like the fact that my daughter was sitting there just, just dreading the fact that her dad is coming. I know what that feels like. Just sitting around waiting. And I really did something wrong, so I knew what was coming through the door. She didn't necessarily do anything wrong. So we were able to get through that, but it took some time. Took a lot of talking, a lot of hugging. You know what I mean? A bunch of kisses on the forehead, a bunch of positive reinforcement. I believe in that. Again, if this happened to 70s and 80s, you lose something like that, man, that's an instant beatdown. Instant beatdown. But we gotta, we gotta switch it up out there, man. So I hope y'all doing good. Happy Monday. I hope Monday is starting off good for you guys. So let's get into it. Brother Hayoka, what's going on? Empathy is necessary for love and war. Absolutely. Absolutely. Which kind of segues really well into what we're going to be talking about here, man. I'm always, not just me, but a lot of guys are always talking about the art of war. Some people like me talk about Book of the Five Rings, but we're always talking about strategy and stuff like that. Why? Because men are problem solvers. Men are problem solvers. You know what I'm saying? And this is what we do. We try to figure stuff out. We tend to go back to old texts. And for Brother Hayoka, here you go, man. This is for you. For always being there for a brother. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we do. Like, we try to figure this stuff out. You know what I mean? We understand, how history works and how our species has gotten down over the ages. We kind of go back to there. I like the art of war, because Sun Tzu's text, to me, is still relevant even in this day and age. So we're not talking about warfare in this particular episode, but, we're kind of looking at the dating dynamic, right? And the art of war covers all that stuff. I mean, it covers business, it covers finance, it covers relationships, it covers religion, you name it. Anything that has to do with people, because all Sun Tzu was talking about was human nature. That's all Sun Tzu was talking about. Right? So I'm going to apply it, at least attempt to apply it to what's going on in the sexual marketplace, and how you can use some of these, some of his words, his advice, his tactics to help you out there in the real world today, because things are changing every single day, y'all. It is changing. You know, it is what it is. You know, like the internet, Instagram, especially, you know what I mean? Social media, dating sites, all that has changed the game. You out there trying to figure it out. You really, it is kind of a war. Just kind of getting out there trying to figure this out. So what I did is I went through, I found some videos, and then I went through a couple of my texts, and I'm like, okay, you know what I mean? I came up with about a page and a half or so of some of Sun Tzu's words, and then, you know, we're just gonna get into it, y'all. You know what I mean? Definitely looking forward to seeing y'all comments and stuff like that. How y'all, you know what I mean, how you feel. And at the very end, we're gonna have a video. You know, y'all know I'm always watching Fresh and Fit, especially the early shows. They had Zuby on, and there was one particular segment in that interview that I did kind of, you know, kind of will mesh well with this particular topic. So, and this stuff that I'm saying, it's not no particular order. It's just stuff that caught my eye, and I'm like, huh, I like that. You know what I mean? This, again, everything we doing here, man, it's all about the think tank, y'all. It's all about the think tank.
Think tank, Arch. Nothing gets past your think tank. Nothing.
This is what you got to do. Y'all got to be thinking out there, man. Because if you're not thinking in today's world, you are lost. You are lost. Things are happening fast. And if you're not sitting around thinking about what's going on, if you're just going with the flow, going with the herd, you might be on your way to the slaughterhouse. That's my take on it. So, one of the things that I saw in here that kind of caught my eye, and this is Sun Tzu: never trust a friend who is silent about your flaws. Never trust a friend who is silent about your flaws. And, you know, I never read that one before. That one's kind of evaded me over the years. And I think back on my friends, right? The people who are closest to me, or the people I know will tell me the truth about me. They will tell me the truth about me. They're never silent about my flaws. They're going to let me know. If every one of your crew is telling you what you want to hear, that is a very bad thing. You know, look at what's going on with Donald Trump. Everyone in his crew is telling him the same thing. That's not good for development. And in his case, that led him into some real legal peril. You know what I mean? You look at anybody look at all the A-list celebrities out there. They're so unhappy. Why? Everyone around them is telling them what they want to hear. You hear about the prima donnas, right? You hear about the divas in the music business. You hear about these rappers, these R&B artists, you know what I mean? These, you know, whoever. These successful people, these rich folks, they surround themselves with yes men and yes women. And they never really know where they are. Right? And again, that's just one of those things. Never trust a friend who is silent about your flaws. Think about that, y'all. That's one of those things, brother Hayoka. Thor said in his youth, I called him Loki war, but as you get older, it's called diplomacy, for all wars based on deception. Wow. Yeah, all wars is based on deception. Wow, that's good. I never heard that one before. Yeah, and brother Hayoka's like, you got the wrong crew. Yeah. If your crew's never telling you the truth, you got the wrong crew. You know what I mean? You surround yourself with different people. And are you the person? Think about that. Are you the friend who was silent about your friend's flaws? Right? And if you are, don't be mad when your friend finally replaces you. Right? That's the bottom line. You got to go. I don't need yes people around me. I need critical thinkers around me. I need warriors around me. I need people with that warrior mentality. That's what I need around me. You know what I mean? Brother Jason's in the house. Welcome, bro. And then here's another one. If you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the results of 100 battles. Right? And this goes to know yourself, know your enemy, right? Know yourself, know your enemy. And that makes complete sense. If you know you know all your flaws, you know all that. You know you, and you know your enemy. You've been studying your enemy, and you know what they're doing, or your target, whatever you want to put it. These terms, y'all, like we're gonna be talking about dating dynamics, you know, male and female. I'm not saying that we are enemies, but what I'm saying is these words hold true even in relationships, right? Because they say all's fair in love and war. So, and I'm not saying that that female are the enemy or males are the enemies to females and they need to be destroyed. I'm not saying that. So I hope y'all get where I'm coming from with this. I'm pretty sure someone is going to watch a part of this and like, he said that men think that all women are the enemy. It's not what I'm saying. It's not what I'm saying. You know what I mean? It's a thought exercise. But know yourself, know your enemy. Period. Right? Know yourself, know your enemy. 100 battles, you have 100 victories. If you know yourself and you don't know your enemy, 100 battles, you'll win 50 victories. Right? If you don't know yourself but know your enemy, same thing. 100 battles, you'll win 50 victories. If you don't know yourself and you don't know your enemy, 100 battles, you'll have 100 losses, 100 defeats. And that's what it boils down to. So when guys who typically find themselves in the manosphere, or guys who are out there, even in the blue pill world, they're out there chasing women, and they really believe that women are sugar and spice and everything nice. They really believe that there's someone out there for me. Someday my princess will come. Same thing for the ladies. Someday my prince will come. They really believe this stuff, right? If they truly believe this, then they don't know. They don't know the other side. You got to know your side, and you have to know the other side. You have to understand the other side. Ladies, you have to understand the other side. If you know, ladies, that almost all men are hunting for this sexy brown and will do damn near anything to get it. If you understand and accept that, ladies, you'll be in a better position to find the quote unquote good guy or the guy for you. Right? So, but if you don't know that, you're going to fall for the okie doke every single time. Every single time. You know what I mean? Same thing for the dudes. If you don't understand female nature, female dating strategy, if you truly don't understand that, you're not going to be successful. Like, you know you, but you don't know who you are gunning for. So you can expect to be successful half the time if you're lucky. If you're lucky. Right? And most men don't know themselves. So they fit into that. They don't know themselves, and they don't know the enemy category, and they're going to lose 100% of the time. So, gentlemen, I'm trying to tell you, that is how it works. Brother Andrew's in the house. What's good, bro? It is crazy. I am a lone wolf. Right? Even as a lone wolf, there's going to come a time when you got to click up to get something done. So you still need to know these things, bro, even as a lone wolf. Right? It's going to come a time you can't. A lone wolf cannot conquer anything. You can't do it. You need support. You need support, bro. And when it comes to that, you know what I mean? These words will come into play. Brother Hayoka, that requires empathy. This is also applicable in business. Absolutely. Absolutely, brother. Brother Andrew, brother, I cannot disclose things due to it affecting whomever I meet. They might not be honest about who they are. You can try that, man, but I mean, it just takes time. And we're gonna get into some other stuff too, right? You know what I mean? Sun Tzu would talk about what you're talking about. I mean, it's just one of those things. You gotta get into some other stuff, brother Hayoka. From a reproductive point of view, men and women are in conflict as a group. Yeah, they are. A woman wanting quality and men wanting quantity. Absolutely. I agree with that. And then, brother Helka, Andrew, the level and quality of concealing who you are tells others about you. Yep. I was going to talk about that. But all this is in there. All of it's in there. You know what I mean? So the next one, to know your enemy, you must become your enemy. right? You know what I'm saying? Walk a mile in their shoes. I'm pretty sure y'all have heard that. To know your enemy, you must become your enemy. It takes effort to truly understand the other side, right? So now we got the computer. It kind of makes it easy. Just go online and, start to get all this information coming from all these different sources, right? In the manosphere side, you know what I mean? Like, these different philosophies or whatever you want to call them, blue pill, black pill, red pill, you know what I mean? All this stuff is just people giving you their experiences and whatever. They're just putting it out there. Now it's like over information. You got all this stuff you got to sift through. You know what I mean? You got to find the stuff that makes sense to you. You got to put it all through the think tank and get that information. Okay, this makes sense. This doesn't. You know what I mean? Why is this? It's all in front of you, but you still have to get to the core, right? And you also have to talk to women. You have to talk to other people. You know what I mean? If you got to do that, man. If you're trying to get into the burger business, you better be expert in hamburgers. You best be expert in that. Figure out, I got to know. I know what's going on. I know what everybody's doing. How can I create my own lane? What do I need to do? Is it just the taste of my burger? I got to make them differently. Is it the quality of my burger? You know what I mean? Is it the buns I'm going to use? Is it the sauces? Is it the spices? Is it whatever? Is it just going to be the marketing? You got to know it. And all that takes work. All that takes work. You know what I mean? All of it. Brother Hale, because there are no black boxes in life. If I'm comfortable in the sense that I have a foundation, that's Brother Andrew. Brother Hale, an example of that thought is attention, the coin of the realm. Yeah, attention is the coin of the realm. Yeah. An example of that thought is attention is the coin of the realm. Attention is the new clout. That's all people want is attention. There's a guy driving around in Tennessee last week, driving around his car, streaming Facebook Live, shooting folks, looking for attention. That's where we are right now, y'all. Attention is the new currency. It's crazy. And first time I heard that was from Mecca, and that was on Math Hoffa's podcast. You know what I mean? Mecca was saying that, man. And that's my expert opinion. Good podcast, by the way. If y'all, you guys want to check that out. Really good podcast. It stems from the hip hop culture, but it's really all about New York. It's really like a deep dive into New York culture. And, Math Hoffa brings on some G's on there. You know what I mean? It's, it's music related, but it really speaks to the culture. And New York has always been special when it comes to that. You know what I mean? New Yorkers, even the thug dudes, were always on that knowledge, man, for real. So shout out to them over there. There's another thing, Sun Tzu, opportunities multiply as they are seized, right? And it's like, well, what does he mean by that? I think it was the Greeks that said, fortune favors the bold. Same thing, man. Opportunities multiply as they are seized. You got to get out there. You see the opportunity, you got to seize it. And when you start doing that, you'll find that more opportunities present themselves as you are doing that. Or you can sit back and just be that dude who's afraid to make a move. Scared money don't make none. You know what I mean? You can sit back. It's like Sister Candace would say, you know what I mean? You miss 100% of all the shots you don't take. The opportunity presents itself, you take a shot, say it comes off the rim, but you know what I mean? Your guys down there on the baseline, get the rebound, push it back. That's another opportunity that was seized. They multiply. You know what I mean? That's some people just sit back. We're just thinkers. I'm just going to sit back and think about it. And they just sit there and they pass up all these opportunities. What does that mean in the dating world? Simple. If you see an opportunity, take it. You see a young woman out there, you somewhere, in the park, and you see that glance. She gives you that ever so subtle glance real quick. You see that? Be bold enough to walk over there and seize that opportunity. Hello, how you doing? Walk over and say hi. Now, you might walk over to this woman, you might find out she's in a relationship or she's married or something like that. But then her friend walks up, and this woman that you were bold enough to seize this opportunity on introduces you to her friend. Man, you're really nice. And my friend She's single. She's looking for a good guy, and you seem like a good guy. Bam, another opportunity, just like that. That never would have happened if you just stayed there like a little coward sitting on the bench. You know what I mean? Making those little kid faces or whatever those dudes do. You got to seize opportunities, gentlemen. And ladies, too. Seize opportunities. It goes both ways. Yes, it can be easier, ladies, but for y'all, because, dudes are coming after y'all. But if you see that guy, you see the dude, you might want to seize an opportunity. You might want to be a little more forward because he may not come over to you. It's not to say you're not beautiful. It's not to say you're not intriguing. He just might not feel like it. Why? Because the type of guys that women are interested in tend to get a lot of attention from women. So a slight glance is going to take a matter of fact, he's not even going to make eye contact with you. Like I said before, if a dude's into you and he's a top tier guy, he's going to come holler at you. So the fact that he ain't walking up on you already, ladies, he ain't interested. You might have to go over there, right, and create your opportunity. You might have to do that. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? Opportunities multiply as they are seized. That is a really good one. Really good one. You know what I mean? So fellas, remember that. Don't let the opportunity slip by. You know what I mean? Don't let them slip by. You know what I mean? Brother Hacker, synergies from previous victory. You learn from each conquest. You do. You learn from each defeat. You learn every engagement. You know what I mean? No one likes the sting of defeat, but you learn from that defeat. Just like you learn from that victory. Yeah, Brother Hager, seduction is the feminine form of warfare. They never let you see them coming. Real talk. Real talk. I ain't mad at them. Right? I ain't mad at them. Sun Tzu says, know yourself and you will win all battles. And I agree with this. I had to think on this for a moment. Simply because you know yourself doesn't mean that every time you engage, you're going to win. I can go fight anybody. I know myself. No. Know yourself. If you truly know yourself, you know when to engage and when not to engage. You know when to charge forward and when to withdraw. That's what he's talking about. Know yourself. Right? Simply because you know yourself as a man, you're out there in the dating world. Right? That doesn't necessarily mean that every time you pop at a dime or whatever you pop at, you're going to get. No, knowing yourself means you're going to put yourself in a situation that you can win. That's what knowing yourself means. You know what I mean? So know yourself and you will win all battles because you know yourself well enough not to engage in certain battles. That's how I take that one. If anyone has anything to say about that, let me know, but that's how I take that one. Sun Tzu says, the whole secret lies in confusing the enemy so that he cannot fathom our real intent. This is a major one right here. The whole secret lies in confusing the enemy so that he cannot fathom our real intent. This is the big one. Who uses this one in today's world, right? The F-boys do, the womanizers do, the players do, the pimps do, right? Politicians do. Who uses this? The whole secret lies in confusing the enemy. The media does, right? So who else uses it? The OnlyFans models do. The Instagram models do. The strippers do. The gold diggers do. That's it right there. You have to be able to see through that, people. You have to be able to see through it. If you're a dude, you pop into a strip club somewhere or you meet some woman and she tells you she's a dancer, an exotic dancer, is she going to tell you her true intent right off rip? Yeah, I'm a dancer. I intend to make you, fall in love with me, believe you're going to get this, and I'm just going to take you for as much money as I can. You think she's going to tell you that when she first meets you? No. She's not going to tell you that. She's going to do what she has to do to get what she wants from you. In most cases, it's money. right? This the same thing with the dudes. You think the top tier dudes, ladies, you think the top tier dudes gonna walk up to you and be like, "What's up, girl? I want to take you home and blow your back out right now, and then put you back on these streets where I found you." You think that's what they're gonna say? Probably not. They're gonna do it a different way. They're gonna sit there and they're gonna pretend to listen to you, and they're gonna rely on tactics that's worked in the past. They're gonna say certain things, maybe show up and give you a little flower or whatever, give you that walk through the park. They're gonna tender swindle their way into blowing your back out. And then once they're done, they're going to drop you right back off where they found you and move on to the next one. Because the secret lies in confusing the enemy, right? So that he cannot fathom the real intent. That's a big one, y'all. That is a big one. You know what I mean? Brother Hayoka, and knowing yourself, you see the others as well. Yep. Deception in a nutshell. Yeah. I mean, that's the basis of all warfare, all conflict is deception. You know what I mean? You look at every war that's ever been documented. I mean, hell, you look at World War II, invasion of Normandy. That included one of the most elaborate deception operations ever used in warfare. They confused Hitler, and they created an entire fake army headed by General Patton. They had like balloon tanks, you know what I mean? And, they had built barracks that were just, wood structures, just, no real barracks. They just built all this stuff. They would have people underneath these balloon tanks, walking them around, make it look like the tanks are moving, because they knew the spies were everywhere. They knew they were looking. They knew the planes were flying overhead. They needed to convince Hitler that the attack was going to come from there, as opposed to Normandy. Deception. Trojan horse. Deception. You know what I mean? So when it comes to dating, there's always going to be deception. Short guys are wearing elevator shoes. Women are wearing tons of makeup. You know what I mean? Guys are, renting cars and Airbnb places to kind of thirst trap with their lifestyle that they don't really live. They do it I've seen it down in Colombia. Got broke dudes from America go down to Colombia, and that little bit of money they got, from America ain't nothing in the U.S., but that's a lot of money down in Colombia, getting dimes left and right. Talking to these women and convincing these women to come back to America. And these women get back to America and be like, yo, this dude's living the way I live in Colombia or worse. They won't stay. But now they're in America, right? They got married to this broke dude, but they're in America and they still fine, right? So they just go out and get themselves a top tier guy, no problem. You know what I mean? But it's all deception. The guy managed to get this beautiful woman based on deception. It is what it is. You know what I mean? But yeah, I like, that's my whole, the whole secret lies in confusing the enemy so he cannot fathom our real intent. I like that one. I'm not a big fan of that. I like to let people know what's up when I deal with it a different way. But I understand that this is a thing. So I'm looking, right? I'm looking for that deception. It's not that I use it on my own, which I don't. You know what I mean? I don't. If you see me, I'm not on Instagram like that. If you see me out and about, if I'm driving something, if it's a rental car, I'm going to tell you it's a rental car. It's not going to be a Ferrari, you know what I mean? Or a Lamborghini. I ain't doing that. I don't stay in Airbnbs. I stay in hotels. So I don't have to say, oh, this is my hotel. Nah, I ain't doing that. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. I ain't mad, but I look for it. And then, Sun Tzu said this: you have to believe in yourself. All them years ago, all them centuries ago. Hey, bro, you got to believe in yourself. Like something as simple as that. I wrote that down just because I'm like, can't get around that. You have to believe in yourself in order for this stuff to work. If you don't believe in yourself and you go up trying to approach some woman, believe in yourself, you're looking down, whatever. Come on, bro. She ain't dealing with you. She's not dealing with you, man. You got to believe in yourself. Women can do that. Women can do that. She can be like a 5 or a 6. She can, she don't have to necessarily believe in herself. Some dude he would take her. He will definitely take her with her low self-esteem and everything. He would definitely take her. But guys, come on, man. You got to believe in yourself. You know what I mean? This is one I like. If quick, I survive. If not quick, I am lost. This is death. This is definitely true in warfare. Speed's the key. Speed's always the key. You know what I mean? But when you're out there, in the sexual marketplace, if quick, I survive. If not quick, I am lost. Right? We were talking about season opportunities and stuff like that. You got to be quick. Guys, when you go up to approach a woman, get up, be quick about it. Go up there, you know what I mean? Run your game real quick. Get her attention. Maybe make her laugh real quick. Make her blush a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Somehow be able to breach her defenses. See if she allows you to touch her hand, maybe hold on to her hand a little bit extra longer, or maybe she'll let you touch her shoulder or whatever. Get her number, get her Instagram, whatever, figure out a way to get a hold of her and get out of there. Get out of there. You know what I mean? Let her mind do the rest. Get out of there. Right? If quick, I survive. You want to survive that encounter? Get in and get out. Boom. If quick, I survive. If not quick, I am lost. This is death. How many times have you seen guys approach some woman and it looked like it was going good for the first minute, but he stayed too long? 15, 20 minutes later, 30 minutes later, he's still there, and her whole facial expression changes. He's just lingering. He was not quick. He was not quick. Right? If not quick, I am lost. And he lost her. Right? This is death. How many times you seen dudes just like, bro, you had it. You were in there. 45 seconds, minute and a half. Boom, you in there. In and out. Gather information. Boom, move on. But nah, they stay in there. They move slow. They're sluggish. They're not quick. That's what it is. It happens sometimes. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So, Brother Hayoka, geisha, we're called the women of the floating world, just as pimps sell the dream. Sales and branding game can work wonders. Yeah. Yeah, it can. You know what I mean? During World War II, Germans bombed the wrong spot for 2 weeks because of deception. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it happens in every conflict. If you look in almost every major battle, there was some deception involved. There was a lot of deception involved. You know what I mean? Going back to D-Day. In D-Day, they were like little dummy paratroopers with drops on drop zones all over the place. They had little parachutes or whatever, had the Germans real confused. The little dummies will hit the ground, and then they had firecrackers or something that would go off, make it sound like they were shooting. So the Germans were attacking these little dummies. But again, that held up forces. So the real paratroopers can do what they had to do. You know what I mean? Dating World 3 was welcome. What's good? Never seen you before. Welcome. In black community, Michael Jordan, Obama, Denzel Washington, all these people are some high value men. I mean, yeah, you can yes, you can make that call, but I mean, it's not only those guys. You know what I mean? Like, these guys are high earning, extremely high clout. I mean, these guys are legends. You're talking about Michael Jordan, Barack Obama, Denzel Washington. These guys are absolute legends. You know what I mean? But there are others that are considered, top tier guys. You know what I mean? In the black space, like in the black community, just like in any other community. You got small businessmen who are out there killing it. You'll never know who they are. You know what I mean? They're top tier men. Anybody who's able to go out there and, make their impact on the world. There are all kind of dudes out there. You know what I mean? You got criminals out there who are high value. I mean, by the definition, there are, criminals out there getting it. You know what I mean? They're going to get women and whatnot. But there are more examples other than like the legends. You know what I mean? Like, Tom Brady, Wayne Gretzky, and Beckham. You know what I mean? Those are high value men. Of course they are. They're all legends. You know what I mean? You look at Jeff Bezos. You know what I mean? You look at Tesla guy, Elon Musk. You look at these people. It is what it is. Yeah, but those, they're also, there are levels to it. When it comes to, there are levels to it, dating world. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, you say those guys are high value. You know what I mean? It's not just a movement to be quick, it's also quick thinking. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Good point, Brother Hayoka. Good point. You know what I mean? You have to be able to adjust, and that's going to come up. That's going to come up later as well. Brother Andrew, as men, black men, if I look at going outside of my group, logical in the market. I'm not sure what you mean. Outside as men, as black men, if I look at going outside of my group, logical in the market. I mean, not sure what you're trying to say, bro. Not sure. I'm confused there. Brother Hayoka, they have an image of high value men that's branding. You don't really know them. Right. When you start getting into like the people that were named by Dating World, you're talking about, the absolute tip of the spear. You know what I mean? Like it's, the best of the absolute best, when it comes to all that. Yeah, it's hard to, it's hard to even speak on that world. I know dudes like that. It's hard to really speak on that world. They're out there, but they are so rare, man. You know what I mean? They are rare. They are rare. Let's see. Sun Tzu. If you ignore both your enemy and yourself, you are certain to be in peril. And that goes back to what I was talking about. Know yourself, know your enemy. You know what I mean? But if you ignore, and I like the fact that he used the word ignore, because that's what a lot of people do. Men and women in this dating world, we ignore a lot. Right? We talk about these red flags. People see red flags all the time. We ignore these red flags. I like the fact that he used that word. If you ignore both your enemy, and yourself, you are certain to be in peril. Certain to be in peril. That's real talk. You know what I mean? That is going back to the analogy talking about a stripper, right? For the guys, you're dealing with a woman who is a, exotic dancer, or, an IG model or Instagram woman. I mean, not an OnlyFans woman, I should say, an OnlyFans woman. You dealing with that and you ignore all the stuff that's going on, right? You ignore the fact that she only comes out when you pay a ton of money. You ignore the fact that everywhere you go, there's 3 or 4 guys that know her and know her well, right? You ignore the fact that she's, maybe she has multiple kids by multiple guys. If you ignore these things, and then, you also ignore who you are as a person, come on, bro. You will find yourself in peril. You might be baby daddy number 3, number 4, whatever. And it's like, that's just more money coming to her, going straight to court. Hey, going straight to court. You're going to have to pay this. Right? And you may or may not have access to your child. So that is a good one. Ignore. That's one of those things, man. People talk about ignoring. You know what I mean? It's like, don't ignore the red flags. And the same thing goes for you ladies. You dealing with a guy, they call him the Giga Chad or whatever. You dealing with this dude and you ignore all of the stuff. Like he only calls you in the middle of the night. You know what I mean? When you come over, it's all about the sex. Like you don't even get any fruit or nothing. It's all about the sex. He never kisses you. It's never passionate. He's got you doing all, you got to top him off. Then he flips you over. You know what I mean? Buries your face in the pillow and just, 5-pump chump. He's out of there. And you still ignore that. You're like, well, at least he's with me. I get to come over. That's on you, love. That's on you. And that's an extreme example. My people Slow Jams did a live last night. She did a live on Instagram, and she was venting because she chose a dude. And she ignored a lot of the red flags up front, and then finally she had to come around and just deal with them. You know what I mean? And she dealt with dude, and she went on Instagram Live to vent. You know what I mean? And I mean, it happens to happen. And Slow Jam is a beautiful sister, very talented. You know what I mean? She's out there. She understands what's going on. She got caught up. How did she get caught up? She ignored both her enemy or her dude and herself. If you do that, you are certain to be imperiled. And that's what happened with her. She gonna bounce back. You know what I mean? She know what it is. Beautiful young woman. She's young. She's beautiful. You know what I mean? She's out there getting it. She doesn't need anybody, but she wants someone. And she, you know, shout out to you, Slow Jams. I'm sorry that went down that way, but you know what it is, girl. Just like I said in the message. You know what it is. You chose poorly. It's all good. Learn from it. Like we said at the top of this show, you learn also in your defeats. You learn in your victories and you learn in your defeats. You should be constantly learning. Brother Hayoka, in India, it's called the law of fishes. The big fish eats the little fish, so you better be quick. That makes sense. Dating world. We need to accept the fact that if you are not high value, you're not a high value man, no matter how good your game is, still men are going to suffer in the dating game. Black men especially, African American, or with high testosterone. I don't know. We need to accept the fact that if you are you're not a high value man, no matter how good your game is, men are still going to suffer in the dating game. I disagree a little bit. You know what I mean? I disagree a little bit. I think I see where you're coming from. I'm of the world that, you know what I mean, if you really on your game and you apply your game appropriately, I think you're gonna come out on top. Like if you truly know yourself and you know who you're dealing with, I don't see how you can lose. I think the people with game, those people who do lose, I think they lose because they ignore certain things. Right? Like if you're gonna apply, like even before Sun Tzu, just coming up the way I came up, I understood, like when I was out there in the streets, y'all, when I was young, I didn't give a shit. I really didn't. It was hard for me to lose because none of my emotions were involved. None. I was a cold-hearted dude. I did not care. It was all about the Foxy Brown trying to smash. That's it. You ain't trying to let me smash, bye. I wasn't mean. You feel me? I wasn't on some real pimp stuff. I wasn't trying to, verbally, break people down and all that kind of stuff. Nah, it's just, if you want to be with me, you want to spend some time with me, we smashing. You want to get to where you can come over to the crib and watch blockbuster movies with me, like Blockbuster Video Night or whatever. We can do that, but we've already smashed. Right? That was the first thing. We're gonna have to smash, man. 3-day rule. So my emotions never got involved. Where did I get in trouble? Where did I lose? Is when I lost control of my emotions. When I ignored certain things, let my emotions out, then I got into some trouble. To your point. You know what I mean? Even the high value dudes, the top tier guys, the dudes with the money, if their game is poor, they get ran through. They get ran through in a different way. They got the money, so it don't matter. But these shits come in here and they get them for houses, cars, bread, stock options. You know what I mean? There's women out there going after the top tier guys. They're getting bread like that. How do I know? I was smashing them chicks while they was getting the breads from the top tier dudes. You know what I mean? They coming back taking me out to eat. You know what I mean? At the finest restaurants or wherever I wanted to go. They taking me on trips. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh man, I went and bought you this outfit because I think it'll look good on you. They using dudes' money to do. So it happens all the way through. It happens all the way through. I think as a guy, you need to keep your game tight. As a woman, you need to keep your game tight and your eyes open. You need to understand that. As a woman, if you're dealing with a guy who tells you up front, yo, this is how it is. You number one, but I got a rotation of 6 or 8 or however many, but you're the number one, and you agree to that, you cool. That's on you. That's what you want to do. You know what I mean? That most guys aren't like that. Most guys, they're just gonna lie to you. They're gonna lie, and when you lie in my book, that's when it's cheating. They're gonna be, you know what I mean? They're gonna conceal. Where was it at? They're using the whole secret, lies, and confusing the enemy so that he cannot fathom your real intent. That's most men in the dating market right now. They confuse these women, have them thinking they're the only ones. Meanwhile, these women have no idea what their true intent is. They can't fathom their true intent. The true intent is to smash as many chicks as they can. So yeah, I'm with you just a little bit there. I do believe if your game is tight enough and you adhere to your game, you can't lose. You can't lose. Especially if your mission is just to smash. Now, if your mission is to have a relationship, it's kind of hard. I think it's really difficult to have a relationship devoid of feelings. So your feelings are going to get involved, and that's when you become vulnerable, in my opinion. And that holds true all the way through, man. From the dude in the hood, trailer park guys, all the way up to the top tier guys, you know, the high value man. If we don't get our emotions in check, like once our emotions come into play, I believe you've lost your advantage. You know what I mean? How are you going to be in a long-term relationship and not have any real emotions towards that woman? I don't know if it's possible. Maybe some would argue that it is. I think the guy who's up front and tells women up front, this is what I'm doing, those guys, you know what I mean? There's still some vulnerability there, but if you tell your women, I'm running a rotation, they agree to be in your rotation, whatever, and they act up, your number one start acting up, she's gone, you got, you know what I mean, you got another one's like next woman up. You know what I mean? So, but even then, if you truly love somebody and your emotions are out, it's going to hurt when they leave. But I don't know. Even top tier guys, just because you got money don't mean you safe. It ain't safe. You hear me? Brother Andrew, is it logical for me to pursue other groups outside of my racial group in the dating market? I mean, that's on you, bro. Is it logical? Yeah. I mean, again, what's the mission? What's the mission? Is the mission just to smash? If the mission is just to smash, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? If you're looking for long-term fulfillment and all that kind of stuff, I don't see why not. I mean, I don't, you know, when it comes to race and all that, I mean, I love Latinas. That's who I normally go after. You know what I mean? There are guys out there who love, you know, like within the Asian group, you know, be it Korean, Japanese, Filipino, Thai. That's who they go after. A lot of it has to do with it's just away from America. You know, it's a different community, not necessarily because of the race, but it's just a different upbringing. And I think that's what draws a lot of men in. So, yeah, I mean, is it logical for you to pursue other groups outside your race? Yeah, and it becomes logical if you're not having success within your own group. The mission is still there. Whatever the mission is still there. If you're not having success within your own group, then yeah, you're gonna have to go seek out that success elsewhere. So yeah, that's logical to me. The mission is still there, right? What are your alternatives? If you're not having success within your group, what are your alternatives? You're gonna just give up? I mean, there are tons of women on the planet, bro. Right? We're all the same, you know what I mean? We may look a little different here and there, but we're all the same species. And then brother Andrew, Denzel Washington's wife went out with him even when he was so broke he couldn't afford to pay for the cab ride home from their first date. A lot of these women don't want to build and help mold men. And here's the thing. She probably did that. You know what I mean? But when he did found his success and he was doing his thing, he really was doing his thing. When he reached that top tier status, Denzel was doing his thing. Again, that's another one of those worst kept secrets in Hollywood, and his wife knew all about it. You know what I mean? So that's a 100% win for Denzel, not necessarily 100% win for his wife if you're holding them to the same type standard. You know what I mean? But there are those who would argue that it was a win for her as well because she found him before he had anything, and she built with him, and she's the number one, and she's still there after all these other chicks are done come and gone. You know what I mean? It's still her. She still has her guy, her top tier guy, and she's a top tier woman because of it. You know what I mean? So there's a couple ways of looking at it. At the end of the day, she's married to him. He's a top tier guy. He's married to her. They had their children together. They raised those kids. They've had a great life. You know what I mean? So that's just another way of looking at it. You know what I mean? But that feeds into the narrative. The top tier guys get the exercise options. You know what I mean? That's the thing. That's the thing. Not all men exercise options. I don't. If I'm in a relationship, I'm in a relationship. That's the only person I'm with. But if I'm not in a relationship, I'm out here just running a rotation. If that's what I'm doing, I let all the women know I'm running a rotation. This is how it goes. And that you only get that talk after a while. Like, all right, I'm trying to put you in a slot. If I'm just out here doing my thing, I'm just messing with you. You don't even get that conversation. Man, we just whatever. We smashing. It is what it is. Oh, I don't like that you take these phone calls when da-da-da-da. Bye. Or I see her on her phone. You know what I mean? If I'm just smashing, really, I ain't even out there with you like that. We're at a bar. We ain't out somewhere at movies and having dinner and all that. If I'm just smashing you. You know what I mean? If we get to the point where I want you around like that, then we had to have the conversation. All right, I got a rotation. I'm trying to put you in number whatever slot. A lot of men don't do that. They don't have the courage to do that. You know what I mean? So, Brother Andrew, a lot of women that are certain races that tend to flock around athletes when they're not wealthy. So many of these guys will be inclined to stay with people that were with them pre-fame. I don't know, man. Those are the kind of conversations you got to have with those dudes. You know what I mean? It is what it is. There's a lot that goes into that. A whole lot that goes into that. You know what I mean? So for every NFL, NBA, Major League Baseball guy, hockey, whatever, for every dude that's successful who came up through the system via the farm leagues or college or whatever and was poor coming up through the system and then made it, for everyone that makes it, it's probably thousands of guys who didn't and still had chicks. Maybe the chicks were just making bets on dudes like, that bet didn't pan out. You know what I mean? It's on to the next one. Because once you break through that level, it's like a whole nother legion of women on the other end of that. You break through and it's like, wow. Like you think the guys in college are getting a lot of Foxy Brown doing what they're doing. Man, when they get to the pros, and again, saw this in LA. Like LA is full of professional sack chasers, yo. These girls, professional groupies, we good time girls, whatever you want to call them. LA is full of them. New York is full of them. Miami, full of them. They there, bro. And they ain't at the college campuses. Nah, they there. They waiting for the pros. So it is what it is. But like when it comes to races, man, I mean, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like I said, it's pretty much every race. Like I've been with every race you can think of, pretty much. You know what I mean? Like I said, like the only group of people I haven't been like, had a woman from is the Armenian community. I haven't had an Armenian woman. Ethiopian, nope, had that. I can't think of any others. You know what I mean? Somali, had that. Sri Lankan, had that. Irish, Norwegian, German, right? I mean, been all through Europe. Israeli, haven't had that. But Jewish, yes, but not Israeli. You know what I mean? I had a beautiful young woman from France. She was Jewish. Beautiful. Man, that was an amazing month. I ain't gonna lie to you. Whew. Anyway, let me get back on on track. Brother Hayoka, game is one component of being high value. Game is one component of being high value. Yeah, I would argue that game is probably one of the most important components. Like you must at least understand and have a baseline game. Otherwise, you're gonna get ran. And this is like Wheat Waffles and I disagree on this. I do believe that game is essential in success. This sort of success, I think, is essential. And and I'm throwing in just understanding and stuff like that. Brother Han is in the house. What's good, bro? Han is up in here. Brother Hayoka, game is one component of being high value. Hey, I think it comes into that. You can, if your game is like pimp tight for real, like top tier game, that throws you in that top 20% just on the game alone. Just on game, you're gonna be successful with women. But where Wheat Waffles and I disagree, and I haven't met Wheat Waffles. I mean, we've communicated back and forth, via text and whatnot, but I've never sat down with him. And we've never had this conversation. But just based on his content and my content, I think guys who master game understand hypergamy. They absolutely understand hypergamy. And that hypergamy aspect of their game is what really puts them to the next level. They truly get it. And they sense it right away. They see where the women are coming from and they're able to adjust on the fly. You know what I mean? Again, and most guys who master the game, they're just trying to get the Foxy Brown. Let's keep it 100. They're not really trying to have long-term relationships, but they can. You know what I mean? They are good at it. And dudes with game, like I said, I've seen dudes with game get all sorts of stuff out of women. All sorts of stuff. And they don't have to be like these, 6'4", 225, all ripped and all that, handsome jawline and all that. Nah, these dudes just got game. They come in all shapes and sizes, all forms. They just got game. They get into a woman's head for real. And I've seen it. Like, damn, dude got hurt. And the chick be like in love with him. Like, word, short dudes. You know what I mean? Not even pretty. You know what I mean? Like, damn, is he a hustler? Like, I'm thinking, like, is he the plug? You know what I mean? Like, shit, man, is he part of the Medellin cartel? Who is this dude? Just a regular dude who understands female nature and mastered the game. You know what I mean? And yeah, shout out Slow Jams. Yeah, shout out to Slow Jams. I'm going to be reaching out to her, man, trying to get her on here. She's agreed to do the show. We just got to get our schedule together. I'll be in Miami soon, so I'm sure next time I'm down there, I'll check her out. The weekend of, I think it's the first weekend in October, is Fresh's birthday, man. So I'm going to be going down there to wish my people happy birthday, man, and, get down, have a good time, you know what I mean, show some love. I'll be down there for sure, and I might be down there before that. But, yeah, I'm definitely going to get Slow Jams on here, man. Like, I want to talk to her about her career. I want to talk to her about like, how she's been managing her life. She's such a young woman, but, man, you want to talk about game? She got game. She got game for a female, bro. She just chooses not to use it. She could run her Moose game on anybody and probably just run their pockets, but she chooses not to do so. Can't wait to talk to her about it. You know what I mean? Brother Hayoka, Andrew, you proved the point. Women are concerned with the man's future. They see the potential, just as Denzel's wife saw it in him. Absolutely. Women care about a man's future. Men care about a woman's past. So, ladies, keep that in mind. These top tier guys, you know what I mean, the high value men, they care about your past. They care about the fact that you have an OnlyFans if you do. They care about the fact that you used to be a stripper. They care about the fact that you may have done whatever, porn, or, you know what I mean, you was like the neighborhood 304. They care about these things. So y'all have to conceal them, right? You have to keep that private. Put it in your closet if you're trying to get a top tier dude. You got to shove that in the closet and keep it in the closet deep. Don't let it out. Don't be out there, you know what I'm saying, filming all this stuff with your phone, because that's out there. Top tier guy will see that and immediately like, okay, she rec use only. If he was looking at you as like a potential, the one, and then he sees that, oh, she had an OnlyFans. Oh, man, she used to be an Instagram model. Like she's out there thirst trapping and all this. He's just going to blow your back out and move on to the next one. So remember that, ladies. Men care about your past. And fellas, remember, women only care about your future. They got to see a future with you. Dating world. Why black men are so masculine. I see these white women, Asian women why black women are so masculine. Sorry about that. Why black women are so masculine. I see these white women, Asian women are so feminine in nature. Is it best for black men to date white or Asian women? Here's the thing too, man. Like all women, all races across the board in America, right? Most of these women have masculine traits because they out there getting a bag. They ain't go to college for nothing, right? They're gonna try to, they got to pay back the college loans and stuff like that. So they're gonna have a lot of masculine traits, not just black women. I mean, that's like a stereotype that we hear all the time. Are there masculine black women out there? Yes. Are there feminine black women out there? Yes. Right? Every bit as feminine as Asian women, white women, Latina women. And that's another thing you didn't mention Latin in dating world. You know what I mean? There's some Latin women out there who are extremely feminine because it's the way their upbringing. But there are also some Latin women out there who are trying to get the bag and they may have some masculine traits. So I think it's more of a Western thing. I think it's a culture shift within America itself, probably America, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Europe. You know what I mean? You look at the UK, you look at Germany and all these other places. There's a shift. There's been a shift. You can blame it on feminism if you want to, call it whatever you want to call it, but there's been a shift. Women are out there chasing the bag, they're getting the money. Whereas in countries like Mexico, Colombia, Nicaragua, you know what I mean, Argentina, Brazil, you know what I mean, maybe like parts of Spain, you know what I mean, and some African nations. And then we go, you know, to the east, like, you know, Thailand, Vietnam, Laos. We go places like that. Their culture hasn't shifted quite yet. So they're still being brought up. This is just my opinion, y'all, but they're still being brought up very feminine. Very feminine. So even in South Korea and Japan, which is, you know, very industrious, you know, they're educated and all that kind of stuff. Women are getting the bag, but they are still being brought up feminine. You know what I mean? So there's a cultural shift going on out here. And men in the West don't tend to like it. Some men, there are a lot of men who just whatever, they want a woman. They want sexual access. They'll let her lead. They'll do all these things. And then you get into, you know, family court, you get into divorces, you get into family law, you get into all this other kind of stuff, which I'm telling you is going to change pretty soon because women are making more money. And I'm here to tell y'all, I'm thinking 5, maybe 10 years, there are going to be some massive changes to the family law system because women are getting tagged with child support. Women are getting tagged with alimony because they're the breadwinners. And this is just my personal take, right? This is just me talking. It's DL Saint. Once this happens, there's going to be a shift within the child support system, family court system. It's going to be a shift. And I think it's either going to go away or it's going to become more equal. Like there's going to be caps and stuff like that. And it's not because it's right or wrong. It's not because men are being hurt, because men are being devastated through this process, has been for decades. No, it's because women are going to be adversely affected. Men are going to start benefiting from the same system and they're going to change the system. That's what I think is going to happen. Right? That's what I think is going to happen. Somebody correct me, you know, tell me if I'm wrong. But yeah, dating world, I don't think it's necessarily like, you know, why are black women so masculine? Not all black women are masculine. I know a lot of very feminine black women who are very successful too. You know what I mean? I've seen it. Like there are pockets in America like anywhere else where you can find very submissive black women who were raised a certain way. You know what I mean? That narrative is being pushed, you know, like, you know, this angry black woman narrative has been pushed a long time. There's a lot of, you know, that's the thing. It's out there. But the numbers aren't as great as you would believe. You know what I mean? Or as stories would have you believe. You know, in the video, Dilemma with Nelly, Kelly used her boyfriend's car to pick up Nelly in the video. It's a teaching video. Hilarious. Brother Doug's in the house. What's good, Brother Doug? How you feeling? You know, man, we got Choir Mager, Giggity Giggity's up in this joint. What's up? The One Piece is real. What's good? Quagmire, first time seeing you here, man. I'm glad you're here. Giggity to you, bro. You know what I mean? Slow Jams is awesome. Haven't seen her in Freshman Fit in a while. Yeah, man, that's Casual Jam. She's been busy, bro. Like she's been focused on her music, working hard on that, man. And I'm pretty sure she'll get back on there. They have other people. Freshman Fit has other people helping them out, you know, sourcing women to get on the show. Which is really I'm here to tell y'all, man, I'm starting to appreciate how difficult it is to get females on your platform. I'm here to tell you, bro, I've been working on this for the past going on a month now. I get a lot of yeses, man. How many women have y'all seen on this show? I get a lot of yeses, right? So, I mean, I can get my people in entertainment. I can get my writer friends. I can get my acting friends and stuff like that. I can get them to come on. But like just like regular women or just women who out here trying to do stuff, man, I'm having such a hard time getting them to come through. I get the yes, like yes, they want to do it. They want to do it, but boy, I'm having a hard time to get them to come through, man. Scheduling and all that kind of stuff, I guess. But yeah, I'm a big fan of Slow Jam. That's my people right there. A little sis be out there getting it. We definitely gonna get her on the show. If I got to pick up and take all my equipment down to Miami and bring her bring her through, I'll do that. We're going to get her on the show, though. Got to have Slow Jams. Dating World. Short guy getting pretty damn women is like sun shining on dog ass every now and then. That's it. These women dealing with raggedy men tells me that tells men, my bad, y'all, my dyslexia is acting up. With raggedy men tells that women has low self-esteem. People got low self-esteem, bro. I'm sorry I hacked all that out. My bad. My bad. But when it comes to here's the thing. When it comes to short dudes, ugly dudes, fat dudes, you got all this kind of stuff, right? There's nothing you can do about being short. Although Sister Cancer was saying that there are procedures out there now that are people are actually going under the knife to become taller. I haven't looked into it yet, but she said there are videos out there. I'm going to look into it. I wouldn't do it. I know a lot of my father's under 6 feet, right? My father's way shorter than me. And when he was young, people would tell me when he was a young guy, he was killing it. He was killing it. In the hood, a lot of short dudes, man, with dimes. So, yes, is it a disadvantage? It absolutely is. However, it's not the end all to be all. You don't have to have money. Women love interesting people. If you a short dude and you got courage out your ears, bro, like you got big balls, you let your balls hang, you're going to be able to get some women, man. And once a woman see you getting other women, then it's on, period. I know a lot of short dudes, man, be getting dimes. But yeah, do they get rejected more? Probably. But it doesn't stop them. It doesn't stop them. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. Be very careful with that. The victim mindset. Be very careful. You know what I mean? Just like, oh, well, I'm short. That's why I can't get chicks. Maybe you're weird. I'm not talking about you dating world. I'm talking about in general. When the guys are out there talking about, you know what I mean? I can't get women because I'm short. Maybe you're weird. I know tall dudes can't get women. They weird. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you're not socially calibrated, right? Maybe you're not worthy. You know what I'm saying? Y'all heard, if y'all follow Fresh and Fit, y'all remember that episode when they had Andrew Tate on there? Andrew Tate was on there talking about Luke the Man, right? Luke the Man, just going straight numbers. Just focused on that, straight numbers with all his disadvantages. Hey, Luke the Man, talk to every woman he saw, period. If you do that, I don't care what height you are, right? You have to, of course, you got to come off with your game. Your game got to be right. Like what I'm always talking about, game. You know how to approach, right? You know how to bring a smile to her face, whatever it takes. Shit, bro. I knew short dudes out there, man. They became these magicians, man, pulling nickels and stuff out of the girl's ear. Make her laugh like, oh my God, smashing dimes. Yeah, do what you got to do. Tell jokes. You know what I mean? Look at Flagrant 2, that Indian dude, Akash or whatever. Look at dude. He's not handsome by no stretch of the imagination. He's little. He's small. He has low self-esteem. Right? He's self-conscious. Yet he managed to get himself a very beautiful wife. You know what I'm saying? People are like, well, it's not going to work. Well, it's working now. It's working until it's not working. He got her. Right? He got her. Because he was on stage. He was doing his thing. So, you know what I mean? Be very careful with that victim mindset, bro. Like, you know what I mean? If you are a short dude out there, you know what I mean? You definitely got to be in the gym. You got to stay in shape. You know what I mean? But you really got to step up your social game. Figure out something, man. Have card tricks. Like be a magician, you know what I mean? Or a musician or a comedian, some sort of entertainer. I know you're like, damn, bro, I gotta go out here and be a minstrel just to get a dime. Yeah, you might have to. If that's what it takes. If that's what it takes. Look at Kevin Hart. You know what I mean? Look at Kevin Hart. Look at the other dude. What's the name of the other dude with the perm? Damn, I can't remember his name. The one that got beat up by a 13-year-old or something like that. Black comedian, big time in the community, making all kind of. I can't think of his name right now, but anyway, another short dude getting dimes. Damn, I can't think. We were just talking about him. Me and Jay Swans were just talking about him. But you know him too. There are a lot of short comedians out there. Cat Williams, thanks, brother Han. Han. Thank you. Cat Williams, little bitty ass dude, funny. Out there getting dimes. How many kids he got? How many baby mamas he got? And he taking care of his kids, you know what I mean, with his jokes. So you got to be very careful, you know what I'm saying? Biggie. black and ugly as ever, had mad dimes. And I seen pictures of Big, bro, for real. That brother was nowhere near handsome. Nowhere near it. Talent. Game. You feel me? So, that's what I look at. That's what I look at. You know what I mean? Brother Andrew, we want arm candy too. We need to be presentable. The people that you see on TV or in certain types of videos aren't really the same total, but they do leave a bad impression at times. And that's Brother Andrew. You know what I mean? Brother Hayoka, just as women look at a man's future, they also have to fear of missing out, the devil tempting eye, and anxiety over their future, the source of hypergamy. Yep, I can see that. You know what I mean? Dating world, I ain't a short guy, I'm 6'1". Anyway, height do play major roles in attracting women. That's for sure. Yeah. And again, I don't know you, bro. Like I said, I don't know if you're short, and I wasn't addressing that towards you, bro. But even as a dude, you could be as a tall guy. You know what I mean? How many dudes have you seen that are tall? Got they, you know what I mean? They strong, they're tall, they hit the gym, you know what I mean? But they broke, they lack ambition, right? They're not socially calibrated. Those dudes will smash some chicks. Like the chicks will come in there, but how many times you seen dudes like that just talk their way out of the Foxy Brown? Or they can't maintain a long-term relationship because the women realize like this dude ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? And they move on. So, and that's a tall guy. So everyone has their issues that they got to work on. You feel me? You know what I mean? They just got to work on them. You got to understand it. Know yourself, know your enemy. Back to the Sun Tzu stuff. Know yourself, know your enemy. You know what I mean? And like I say, man, to me, that's all game. You know what I mean? Brother Han was like pimp down. Brother Doug, I'm short and I do all right. I don't do anything special. I just have, I don't give a fuck attitude. It is what it is, game. You call it the I don't give a fuck attitude, I call it game. I know where I fit in. Like I said, know yourself, man. Know yourself, know your enemy. Sun Tzu. That's what we're talking about right here. That's all part of it. Know yourself, know your enemy. Right? And then Sun Tzu says, we're going to continue because I like that part of the conversation. That was good. I appreciate it. Appreciate it, guys. Sun Tzu says, if his forces are united, separate them. Separate them. So like, come on, man. Come on, Saint. What you talking about, bro? His forces are united, separate them. Girls like to go out in packs. They love to go out in packs. Security reasons, just because they like having the girls with them for whatever. So they're unified. You have to separate them. You have to separate them. You have to figure out a way to separate them just long enough for you to run your game on whoever you want to run your game on and then move on. Remember, what did Sun Tzu say about being quick? If quick, I survive. If not quick, I am lost. This is death. This is what you got to do when you out there in the sexual marketplace. Females with her clique, her crew, or whatever. She could be with kids, family, whatever she's with. She's with a group. You have to figure out a way to get her separated from that group, right? If his forces are united, separate them. If her forces are united, separate them just for a quick second. Get what you got to get done and be out of there. Right now, Sun Tzu is talking about different things. You know what I mean? He's talking about major movements and stuff like that. But this plays a part in the way that we maneuver today. You know what I mean? So, and I can't tell you how many times, every time you go out, you go into a club environment or a party somewhere or whatever, you're going to see a woman who's checking you out. She is not going to be by herself. She is not going to be by herself. You have to approach the group. And again, your game better be superior to do something like that. You have to approach the group. Right? So get your game up. That's part of it, fellas. Ladies, you ain't got to worry about that. I mean, I know the males today like to go out in groups because a lot of them were raised by females and they've taken on a lot of female traits. And that's one of them. I'm seeing that a lot. Dudes like to go out. You know what I mean? even my cousin corrected me on this. It was like, come on, bro. We would go out, meet up. I'm like, yeah, man, but it was different. Like we would go, but we weren't like riding together, had to go to the bathroom together. Nah, I see you there, man. Like, where we going? We going to be at so-and-so's, Mr. Charlie's? All right, man, I'll see y'all there. Now, we did it again, it was like security reasons too. Because you never know who's out there, who's looking for you, you know what I mean? Or who y'all looking for. You got to have your crew close. I get that. But when I see guys go out, they're literally in like little herds, man. Just like the women. It's almost like a high school kind of thing. And they're afraid to break out of their herd to go talk to somebody. They need the whole group to move on to the second group, and then they talk at each other. It's weird. It's just the way things are these days, bro. I don't rock like that, man. When y'all see me out, it's me generally. It's just me. I'll be meeting up with folks. All those people I know, I'm over here to holler at this person or that person, or I'm going to meet somebody. But it's just me. It's easier for me to do what I need to do when I'm by myself. It's easier for me to just do it that way. And if I have someone with me, trust and believe that cat has game as well. So he's going to come over, right? He's going to provide the distraction I need to holler at whoever I need to holler at. And it's going to be quick because I understand it's going to be quick. Get what I need and then I'm out. I got the number. I got whatever, right? Give me a minute and a half. And within that minute and a half, you know what I'm saying? I'll get what I need from her. Like, yo, I'll be texting her in and out. Now I'm texting her from the other side of the club. You know what I'm saying? Who driving? What's going on? I'm finna go over this after hours. You should come with me. Just you ain't taking your girls. All right, let me take them home. And then, can you come get me? Yep, I'll come get me. Shoot me the address. I'll pull up. Done. You know what I mean? Done. Cows or germ, I'm better off going out on my own these days. Absolutely. That's the best way to do it. Go out on your own. Get Uber and all that, man. You can drink, right? Take care of yourself. And again, women look at that. I can't tell you how many times I had women want to holler at me just because I was by myself. Oh, you here alone? You're not with those guys? Like, nah, man, I'm just at the bar, man. I'm just talking to them. I don't know them. Oh, for real? What are you doing next? I don't know. I'm thinking about I'm going to go over here to this spot over here. All right, well, have you heard of this joint? Someone told me it was cool. I've been wanting to go there. Shit, come on, let's go. Right? Okay, let me, and they have to figure out how to ditch their friends. They'll figure it out. And then it's on, bro. You know what I mean? But if you with dudes, and let's say you got a dude who he done drank too much or he has zero game or whatever, or he don't look the part, he's not confident. That's it. It's a wrap. All them chicks, like stay away from that group. Like stay away from that group over there. You know what I mean? Social proof, man. They talk about that in the manosphere all the time, man. Social proof. So Sun Tzu says, if your friend is friends with your enemy, it means that you should not hang out with this friend. This is one I had to think on this one for a minute. If your friend is friends with your enemy, it means that you should not hang out with this friend. It doesn't say you should get rid of this friend. It doesn't say, it just says you shouldn't. And it makes sense. And we've all dealt with this on some level. You dealing with this chick. And then your dude is cool with both of y'all. Maybe it was, like he went to school with her or something. Like he's cool with you, he's cool with her. So your friend is friends with the chick you're trying to get at. You should not hang out with this friend. Why? Because he is going to be getting pumped for information by that other party. And this guy might be giving up the information unknowingly. He's just talking to a friend. So it's like lightweight spy. So, and this guy, you don't know what his intentions are with this chick. He might be mad at you because you done smashed her in 3 days and he been in the friend zone for 3 years. So you don't know what he's saying about you to her. So you should not be hanging out with this guy. It's not to say to do away with him as a friend and not cut him off. Just don't hang out with him as long as you're dealing with this chick. Just don't hang out with him. Right? Otherwise, you're taking a chance. Now, if we're talking about is your dude from the, y'all came up from the sandbox. That's different. Family, that's different. You know what I mean? That's different. But we just talking about a friend. I just a friend. This is an associate, somebody I'm cool with, whatever. All right, I'm just not gonna hang out with dude as much because, again, he might not be doing it on purpose. He might be just giving her intel on accident. She asking, oh, yeah, I just saw Don, man, DL's on his way over to so-and-so and so-and-so. Right? He don't even have to say names or whatever. That's just a piece of intel. Maybe that was that last little bit of information she needed to put together the big picture. Oh, this down the third and da-da-da-da-da. Now, of course, with someone like me, I ain't got a problem with that because if I'm just smashing her, it doesn't really matter to me. I'm just smashing her. I don't care. If she asks me, I'm gonna tell her anyway. I don't do the lying thing. Am I vague sometimes? I'm vague most of the time. You know what I mean? I'm vague most of the time, but I'm not gonna outright lie. If I got to that point where I feel I gotta lie, I'm just gonna tell her what's going on and be done with it. I'll move on. Like, man, I'm tired of dealing with you. Going to the next one. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, brother Hayoka, men don't have female friends. Yeah, they're in the friend zone. They in the friend zone. They don't have female friends. They want to smash in most cases, 99.999% of the time. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to smash and they're in the friend zone. Because they don't have, you know what I mean? They don't have the courage to come up right up front. Like, yo, I'm trying to get at you. I want to be with you. You know what I mean? And they can't do that. So they'll just sit back and wait. And women, to this day, are shocked by that statement. I can't believe women don't understand that. Women, I wish we had some of the sisters on here today. Women just, they act like no, that's not the case. We're just friends. Like, man, he trying to smash. He been trying to smash since the day he met you. What's going on? He could have at least told you up front, I'm trying to smash. You say no. And it's like, all right, cool. And then, women like that, like, all right, that's cool. I'm going to go ahead and do what I do. What's up with your girl? Kind of thing. Like, what's up with her? You want to be my friend? You got to pay tribute. Bring me a dime. You want to be my friend? Bring me a dime. Feed the beast, and we could be friends. You don't want to feed the beast? All right, we can't be friends. You know what I mean? We could be associates. I say hi when I see you. Don't be texting me, asking me questions. Don't be sending me pictures. How do I look in this dress? Don't do any of that. How do I look in this dress? You'll look better if you take the dress off. We just friends. No, we ain't. I'm trying to smash. You know that. Quit playing. LOL. You know what I mean? Say what you want. That's how I look at it. Let's see. Sun Tzu. Therefore, just as water retains no constant shape, so in warfare, there are no constant conditions, right? Just as water retains no constant shape, so in warfare, there are no constant conditions. This is real talk right here. This is how you must be fluid out there in the dating world. Men and women, you must be fluid. Just like water, you must be fluid. Adapt to what's going on. That's why Andrew Tate's always talking about Aikido and all this. You must be fluid. You must adjust to the situation on the ground. The majority of men out there do not understand this concept at all. They do not understand this concept when it comes to the dating marketplace. There are a lot of generals that don't understand this concept when it comes to warfare. Look at what's going on in Ukraine. The Russians were not fluid in the beginning. They weren't able to just change their tactics as needed, like water, to be fluid. And it cost them greatly. Looks like they're starting to change up now, but they're not fluid. You must be fluid. Brother Hayoka, she knows, but the benefits is an emotional tampon with economic benefits. Yeah. Brother Doug, I disagree. I have several female friends and I'm cool with it. I smash on their friends. I don't understand why some people can't understand that men and women can't be friends. I don't want to. I hear you. I don't understand why some people can't understand that men and women can be friends. I don't want to. You know what I mean? I get that. It's like I said, right? And I think you were typing when I was saying it. I'll be your friend. But you got to feed the beast. You got to pay tribute. Bring me one of your girls. We're going to be cool. I have a lot of female associates. I have a lot of female friends. I do. You know what I mean? But they got to pay tribute. They got to pay tribute. You know what I mean? So when I talk to young women to this day, when I talk to them, I establish up front. Don't come over here tripping. I'll smash if you let me. You got to let them know up front. I'll smash if you let me. Now, you come over here and talk to me, but don't come over here all tipsy, blaming on the alcohol, been done touched the joystick. It's on. We gonna smash. We gonna smash. I think a lot of people will say when it comes to that female friends things that it is that sexual tension is there. You know what I mean? That sexual tension is always there. Right? And then if a guy gets a chance to smash, more than likely he's gonna do it, man. It's gotta be like just making up numbers. You gotta say like in the high 80%, if not higher. A guy get a chance, he's gonna smash. I mean, if we talking about guys who don't get sexual access, oh yeah, that's like 99%. He's gonna go if he gets the chance, right? If he's bottom 80 dude, he gets a chance to smash, he absolutely gonna take it. You know what I mean? But the guys who are the top tier guys, and with me, it's not just about money and how height and all that kind of stuff. I also include those guys who have good game, guys who are good at womanizing. I put them in the top tier. I put all of them in the top 20%. Them dudes, come on, man. They set the ground rules, and the women wouldn't even really be trying to be your friend if they didn't, on some level, want to smash them. You know what I mean? I'm just keeping it 100. And like I said, if you're a real dude, if you're a real pimp, a real top tier guy, you've said no to sex from dimes. You've turned down dimes. If you've never turned down a dime, then you just too thirsty, bro. You ain't a top tier guy. That's my barrier to entry. Top tier guy, man, you got to be able to say nah. And I've done that. I know a lot of my dudes have done that. Like, man, you said no to her, man. You're like, man, I don't feel like dealing with that, bro. You go ahead. If you've never done that, then you ain't a top tier guy, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Brother Doug, smash every single woman I come into contact with. I smash a lot. You know what I mean? I haven't smashed them all. Like I said, I say no. Now that I'm older, I say no a lot. You know what I mean? I'm real picky now. When I was younger, I would still say no. You know what I mean? I would say no. You know what I mean? But did I wreck some big girls? Sure did. Ugly girls? Yes. You know what I mean? Weirdo type chicks? 304s? Chicken heads? I did it all. But as I got older, I became more selective. Brother Hayoka, be formless, unformidable at the same time you want to fix their form. Yeah, formless and unfathomable at the same time you want to fix their form. He's reading straight from the Art of War. And Brother Andrew, depends on how you know him. That doesn't even, nah, bro. I don't care how I know him. I don't care. I know you through politics, know you through church. I know when I was young, they had us in church, man. Those the freakiest chicks I ever came across in my life were in the church. Y'all want easy kills, go to church. I'm just letting you know, man. You know what I mean? Church is like a hospital for sinners, man. All these women who are out here doing all this craziness, they wind up back in church at some point. And they the same chick. You know what I mean? They'll like you on some sort of level, come to the house and smash you. I don't care how, through work, through social circles, through friends, whatever. It doesn't matter, man. Depends on how you know them, man. I don't care, bro. I'm not, like I say, I let them all know, man. Don't come over here. I just want to come over and talk, man. Don't come over here 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, midnight. Don't come over here half drunk. You know what I'm saying? Don't sweat out some of your makeup and all that. Don't come over here. You know what I'm saying? Don't come over here with your little skirt on. Don't come over here. You'll get what you're looking for. Sorry. Don't do it, Brother Doug. I have serious discipline, so some friendships are too valuable to risk on a sexual relationship that can go south. Yeah, I feel you on that. Some are too valuable. You know what I mean? That's good. Like I said, you say no to some that. If you can say no, in my book, you a top tier dude. You say no to a dime. I'm talking about like a 8, 9, 10. You say no to them. That means you're not really thirsty like that. That means you're a dime. That means you're getting it. You want to talk about abundance. You know what I mean? If a dude's saying no like that, yeah, that cat got abundance. To an attractive woman, and she want to smash, and you like, nah, I'm good. I'll talk to you later and leave, bro. That's top tier. That's top tier. Because that same woman could turn around and smash. It'd be 4 or 5 dudes watching the whole thing play out, waiting to shoot their shot. She, come on, man. She just trying to get some joystick in her life. It's right there. You know what I mean? She gonna be able to get that. But you gotta be formless, man, like water. You got to adjust on the fly. So there's one thing I want. There's a video I have up here that kind of speaks to this a little bit. Zuby was on Fresh and Fit a few days back. It was like Friday or Saturday, I think it was. I can't remember. Really good interview. Y'all should definitely check that out if you haven't already. And they were talking about this. Myron were talking about the guys who hit him up looking for advice. And this is definitely what they were talking about. There are dudes out there who simply don't understand this part of the dating world. They just don't. Smart guys, very, very high IQ guys, but they can't grasp this small concept. So let's pull that up and check it out real quick. Here. Yeah, we'll do this one. So let's check this out real quick. This is Fresh and Fit. Shout out to them. They're talking to Zuby, and let's check this part out.
Thing, right? Yeah. And it's like
that's the argument. It's always the exception.
It's always the exception. It's always saying, "Oh, well, what about this 1% scenario?" And I'm like, "Look, I'm not saying that exceptions do not exist. There are exceptions to pretty much everything. There's very few statements you can make where there's not an exception to it, especially if you're talking about human beings.
Yeah.
Still, we can be like, look, generally speaking, averages, this is what it is. And do you know what's weird about it is like there's so many of these things that are not remotely flattering, right? So like 90% plus of like violent criminals are men.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's not something that's like flattering as a man, but it's like, yo, that's just reality. Men are more aggressive than women are.
Yep.
Men are more competitive. Men are more, we've got this thing called
Zuby,
testosterone.
my brother would never hit anybody. What's wrong with you? How dare you?
That's not true. That's not true because there was a female serial killer, and
I'm shocked.
It's really weird. Some people's. Do you know what I've worked out? I don't want to even sound disparaging to people because I love human beings.
No, go ahead, bro. You want Fresh and Fit? You can be as disparaging as you want.
They annoy me, but I think I've actually realized that maybe I've always known this, and it's kind of obvious, but you're not supposed to say this, but not everyone is actually capable of certain ways of thinking.
Yeah.
And that was a long way to get to that part right there, and we're going to continue in a second, but he is on to something here. Not everyone is able to think certain ways. They're not fluid like water. They're more rigid like stone. This is the way it is. This is the way it shall be. This is the way it had always been. Nah. Nah. You have to be fluid. You have to challenge yourself. You have to put it in the think tank. But people refuse to do that. Men and women. They refuse to do that. Brother Hayoka, you have to be willing to sleep in a bed with them for 30 days, as an example, and not touch them. The only power they have is sexuality and beauty. Take that away, and they're lost. Yeah, when you're talking about most women, there are other women who can, like I said, women do have that healing power. There are women who, a true woman in her feminine, bro, the sex is not even like the biggest thing she brings to the table, just that female healing power. You know what I mean? Having a good woman on your squad who's looking out for you, who will definitely tell you your shortcomings, who will definitely, have that way of making you see things that you need to see at the right time. I've seen that. There's some good women out there like that. You know what I mean? But, they're hard to find. But let's continue with what Zuby, he's going to finish this thought, which is pretty cool.
Well said. There are certain like mental concepts and ways of explaining things that actually I don't think everyone can process. So sometimes this is why you see it, especially online, where you're trying to explain, you're trying to use an analogy.
Yeah,
and some
I've
people,
done it a million times.
Some people don't understand an analogy, right? They take it literally, right? Do you see what I mean?
You see it all the time on Fresh and Fit. You know, you just called me a car. Like I'm not a car. Like I'm not saying you're a car, but okay. Or you like Andrew Tate. Like you just said I'm a child. Like I didn't say you were a child. You know what I mean? It just we've seen it a million times. If you follow any of this content, if you're on that side of the world, that side of the internet, you see it all the time.
So I'm like, no, I'm not.
I'm not a car, Myron. I'm not a car.
I'm not a car,
I'm not mileage. Stop it.
Are we saying with dogs, Myron?
Every night on the show, bro. Tonight, watch what happens. Wait. You said that, but my cousins, he would never do that.
Yeah.
Dude, the girls always do that, bro. Always.
Yeah. People don't get it. So I think
feminized men do that too.
Yeah. So
true.
I think this is also why you get that exception thing where some people don't realize if I say that, you know, generally, if I say that men are stronger than women, or if I say the average, let's get away from the gender thing. If I say, oh, you know, the average truck driver earns, let's say it's $60,000 a year, and someone's like, no, that's not right. Like, you know, I know a truck driver and he makes $100,000 a year. Stupid. I think that they don't get, there's like a type of brain which millions of people have which doesn't understand. They think that they're refuting my point.
And he's absolutely right on that. I can't tell you how many times I've told people like, well, you know that, you know, the average person in America makes like between $45,000 and $60,000 a year. No, I make 70. No, my friend makes 100. It's like maybe we're just talking about the, you know, like the average income or the median income, like, but they just go right into these exceptions. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I know some women who can do this. I know some guys who can do that, but that doesn't make it. You know what I mean? That's not what we're talking about here. We're trying to make a point. So when I talk to folks now, I'm trying to find ways to make these points. You know what I mean? Or ways to, because I know what's coming. Again, know yourself, know your enemy. Like I know what's coming. So right away, I will have information on standby because I know what they're going to say. I'm like, all right, they're going to counter with this. I'm going to have to counter with that. And then they're like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? But that's just where we are right now.
Point. Right? They genuinely think that their point refutes mine. And I'm like, that doesn't change what I said. Yeah. I'm saying this is the median, this is the average, whatever. Yeah, there can be exceptions.
You're too nice, Soupy. Yeah, some of these people are fucking stupid. Let's just say it. Yo, we've got to a point now where we don't tell people they're fucking stupid. The other day I said, fuck it. You know what? It is what it is. You're fucking dumb. This girl came on the pod. You're misogynistic. Please define misogyny. This fucking bitch could not define misogyny. I was like, listen, it's the hatred and or contempt of women. That's what misogyny is, you fucking idiot. Because I had stated some facts or whatever. She didn't like it. And the thing I've come to realize is that it's okay to be stupid nowadays because no one tells stupid people that they're stupid because we live in a protected society where that's considered fucked up. My feelings. You can't tell people they're dumb anymore.
Do you know what's interesting?
Yes.
Why is it that you can only acknowledge the middle and upper half of the IQ spectrum? Right? So with most human.
And then I messed up here speaking of calling people stupid. There was a part in this interview when Myron was talking about these high earning men, these high IQ guys, engineers and stuff like that, who couldn't wrap their minds around the dating marketplace because you have to be fluid in dating. And it was in his interview. I thought I had found it. That's on me for not checking this out because I thought I just watched this and this is the part right here is coming up. I messed up. It's on me.
You big dummy.
That goes to me. But what Myron was saying is the guys who hit him up for counseling on how to date, he was like, their biggest problem is they'll go through it like a checklist, like they're at work running some sort of experiment or they're about to start the airplane. It's like it's a checklist. They go through the checklist. You know what I mean? Ask for a date, say something funny, bring flowers, pay for a date. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. And they don't understand that you have to change it on the go. Like in the military. When we're in the military, we're planning some operation, whatever operation. We get our intel. We base our plans on that intel. We go through it. This is what we're going to do. This is how it's going to work. And you go in. Now you go in real time. and you get there. I'll give you a perfect example. During World War II, again, invasion of Normandy. I want to believe it was British commandos had a mission. They had to climb up this cliff, this mountain, to get these guns. And I want to say it was the British commandos. It might have been Rangers, Army Rangers. I'm not sure. We'll have to check out with Foxtrot Sierra podcast. I'll ask them about it. He'll run it down. So they had to get up to these guns. They get up to the cliff. They had to fight their way up there. They get up to the top of the cliff to where the guns are. The guns aren't there. Right? They were going after these like 88 millimeter, like the German 88s, I think it were. The guns weren't there, but the guns are somewhere. So they had the plan. They executed the plan. They got up there. Holy shit, where are the guns? The mission hasn't changed. We have to silence these guns. We got to destroy these guns. So what did they do? They went out looking for the guns. They can't be that far away. So they went out. They sent out their guys. They sent out scouts, came back. We found the guns were over here, just a few clicks this way. They went over there. They attacked. They got the guns. They disabled the guns. Right? That's the part that most men don't understand when it comes to the dating world. I can't just give you 5 easy steps on how to get the girl. I can tell you like, okay, this is how it generally works. Here's our plan. Let's train up. Okay, you good? Go get them, Tiger. And you get out there and you go like step 1, step 2. And now all of a sudden, oh man, you might have to jump to step 5. You might have to go back to step 1. You might have to create a step 8. You might have to do all these things on the fly. We got to figure this out. She's not responding to this. She might respond to that. I got to do this. You got to remember the principles. I got to be quick. You know what I mean? Don't take too long. If I take too long and I'm done, you know what I mean? So you got all these things. That's what guys don't understand. And that's the part that gets them caught up. Because a woman can change in a heartbeat, bro. In a heartbeat. So, you know what I mean? You got to keep that in mind, y'all. So we were talking about all these different words from Sun Tzu. You know what I mean? We were talking about that and how this stuff works in the real world. Man, I hope you learned something. I hope this was educational or thought-provoking in the least. I really hope this made you think. You know what I mean? I really hope this made you think, because I know my eye keeps going back to the whole secret lies in confusing the enemy so that he cannot fathom our real intent. That was my favorite one right there. Followed closely by, if quick, I survive. If not quick, I am lost. This is death. You know what I mean? Those are my 2 favorite. You know what I mean? Number 3 would be know yourself, know your enemy. You know what I mean? Know yourself, know your enemy, man. 100 battles, 100 victories. If you know yourself and you know your enemy. If you don't know yourself and you do not know your enemy, get 100 battles, you'll have 100 defeats. There's no way you can win if you don't know those 2 things. No way you can win. Brother Vikings in the house. Welcome, bro. We're just wrapping up. Just talking about Sun Tzu. Applying Sun Tzu philosophies to the dating marketplace today. You know what I mean? Finishing up. I apologize for having the clip not set properly with the Fresh and Fit interview, but that Zuby interview was really good, y'all. If y'all haven't seen it, go check it out. You know what I mean? Brother Hayoka, the reason for hypergamy to marry up is security to a woman. The world is dangerous and causes anxiety, fear of the future. This is why a man's future is so important. Okay. I feel that. I can understand that. You know what I mean, Brother Hayoka? Anxiety is based on loss. So women have a fear of missing out. Are you the best man for my future? Right. And a guy be like, okay, love, are you the best woman for my future based on your past? Ladies, remember, your past matters to guys, to top tier guys, to the guys that you want. Your past matters. Keep that in mind, ladies. So that's it. That's the show. Yeah, I just wanted to jump on there, man. If you haven't read The Art of War, check it out. There are tons and tons and tons of translations out there. I've read at least 4 translations. I have 2. I just bought 2 other translations recently, so I'm going to read these eventually. I almost forgot. Sun Tzu was also talking about use of spies. So there was something in here. So when he's talking about the use of spies, it can only be obtained from men, from those who know the enemy's dispositions, right? He's talking about spies when it comes to relationships. Like, well, there are no spies out there. Yes, there are. Yes, there are. You're going to have to find those people who are close to her so you can get information if you're trying to get her. There are things you need to know. You're going to need to know her past, for instance. Like, a lot of guys want to know her past. Where you get that from? She's not going to tell you. But people in her camp might. So, like, Sun Tzu has a whole chapter dedicated to the use of spies, and that's one of the things he's talking about. And that kind of ties into the one thing where there's like, if you're friends with someone who's friends with, the enemy, then you can't hang out with that person. And then another one on spies. And if I can find it here, and I can't. Oh, here it is. Spies are a key element in warfare. On them depends an army's every move, right? So when you look at stuff like that, what does that mean for you? How you approach this woman will be based on information that you can gather from people in her clan, from your spies. Tell you what she likes, what she doesn't like, you know what I mean? How you can, when is the best time to try to surprise her with, I don't know, like a pop-up picnic or whatever. You're going to need information from people in her camp. You got to win over those people so they'll, in essence, work for you and give you this information. Right. And we're not using it like, oh, I want this information so I can destroy her. Like, no, I want this information so I can impress her, so I can win her over, in the sexual marketplace. That's what you're trying to do. Right. We've all done it to some extent. It might be a sister, it might be a brother, a cousin, it might be a parent. I've had parents come up to me like, yo, we don't like the other guy that she likes, so why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? We'll make sure she's available. We'll bring her here. We'll bring her there. That is effective use of spies. All right, again, Sun Tzu is talking about warfare, but it still works in the sexual marketplace, man. It still works in the sexual marketplace. Brother Hale could pose as a friend for information gathering. You can do that as well, but she'll remember that. She'll remember that. And if it turns bad, that can really hurt you. It's best to win over the people in her clique. They're going to really give you the good stuff, man. Even if you pose as a friend, that's going to take years to get close enough to her where she's going to give you like the real dirt. You know what I mean? Or give her, not even the dirt, like to really tell you what makes her tick. You feel me? It's going to take too long. And then by that time, she's looking at you like, oh, you just in the friendship zone. So she has no burning desire for you whatsoever. It is what it is. It's going to be hard to pose as a friend, for information gathering. Unless you're going to have one of your people do that for you. And that's asking a lot. I wish a dude would ask me that. Won't you pose to be Susie's friend so you can tell me what's up with Susie? Man, I've been done smashed Susie, bro. Like, you don't want to send me in there. You sending a wolf in there to protect the flock. Your brother Helka, do you remember in Iraq, the West had a man on the inside? Yeah, we're everywhere. All over the place, bro. Like, we got not just in Iraq. We got them everywhere. Everywhere. And they got their people inside as well. Spies are everywhere. Chapter 13, if you read The Art of Warfare, chapter 13 is dedicated just to spies. And, it's actually a pretty good conversation. Like, and brother, I got the same thing in Libya. Everywhere, bro. Everywhere. Use of spies is essential in warfare. And if we're going to look on the sexual marketplace as some sort of social warfare, you're going to need spies. You're going to need spies to be successful. Who are the spies? Her friends. I do that night of. I've been in the club. I can't tell you how many times in the club I would talk to the girls not getting the attention in the group because I want the fine chick or the chick that I think is fine. I will befriend the girl, normally the bigger girl. And this was real effective back in the day because back, fat girls weren't really getting played like that. I would get her a drink, talk to her, and tell her like, yo, I'm trying to get on with your girl. You should put me on. And they would. They would go get the woman that I want and bring her to me. You know what I mean? It cost me a drink. You know what I mean? Hey, girl, here's a margarita. Oh, thank you. Chat her up for a bit. I'm really trying to get on with your girl right there. Oh, she's single. You know what I mean? She's cool. She likes guys like you. You know what? Let me go get her. I'll bring her over here. Bam. That was me using the spy. If that relationship goes anywhere, I still got my spy. She's invested. Yo, what's going on? I'm trying to do this down the third. I'm trying to set up a surprise whatever party. Can you get it there for me? What date should we do? Now the girl's involved, and women love that kind of stuff, man. So spy. And then when it goes bad, if it goes bad, your spy better want to come and tell you, like, yeah, man, she's seeing somebody else. It's over. All right, cool. That's what's up. Spy. Got to use your spies, y'all. Got to use your spies. So, yep, I'm done. Brother Hayoka, listen to women long enough and they'll tell you it doesn't take long. That's a good point. But there's certain things they won't tell you. There's certain things that even women know, like, this is bad. There's certain things they won't tell you. You know what I mean? And so I'm with you on that. And Brother Hayoka continues, she will be the wing girl and validate you for the girl. Absolutely. Absolutely. And it costs you a margarita or sex on the beach or whatever. So that's it. That's all I have for today, y'all, man. I hope y'all Monday goes fine. Thanks for rocking out with me. For everyone who was here, like all my day ones, man. Brother Hayoka was in here big time. Brother Doug, Brother Viking came by. Han. You know what I mean? And then we had Dating. Who was that? Dating World 3. Thanks for coming out, bros. First time I saw you. Hope to see you again. And Brother Andrew was in the house. This was cool. I doubt if I'll be back tonight. I'll definitely be back tomorrow. Want to talk about what's going on with law enforcement out there, man. It was in Georgia, in Cobb County, Georgia. 2 sheriff deputies were shot and killed last week. It was an ambush style kind of thing. The deputies was simply executing, I think, some sort of warrant. It was terrible. I want to talk about that. Right. There was some other officers who fell. I want to say in Oklahoma or something like that. I want to talk about that. It's getting crazy out here for law enforcement, y'all. It's getting crazy. So yeah, man, I'm done. Thanks for rocking out, man. I'm DL Saint. This is the DL Saint I Really Want to Know podcast, man. I'm going to talk to y'all later. Peace.
Darn, that's the end.